So 2018 is going to be a huge year for the Nintendo Switch. Not only are we going to get new games like the new Yoshi, the new Kirby, and probably more details on Metroid Prime 4, but we're also going to get more details and probably our first glimpse at the new Pokemon game coming to the Switch. The first Pokemon game to come to a console, and the first Pokemon game to finally redefine the series. The big first change for the Pokemon mainline series. It's crazy how the Nintendo Switch kind of represents the era of change for Nintendo. Ever since this console came out, a lot of things have been changing for Nintendo, like Zelda getting redefined, Mario Odyssey taking more of an open path for a 3D Mario game, and now Pokemon is coming to a console for the first time. It's just crazy how the Nintendo Switch has been improving everything when it comes to Nintendo. It's helped them so much, and I think it's only going to get better from here with this console. It's already the fastest selling console in history within its first 10 months, and it's just really exciting, and I'm really happy for Nintendo right now. But 2018 is going to be the year of Pokemon. This is going to be huge for the series. For a franchise like Pokemon to come to another platform, from years and years of handhelds to finally a full console, there's tons of potential and opportunities for Game Freak to capitalize on here and develop a revolutionary Pokemon game. This will be the most anticipated title of 2018. No other games really can exceed the amount of hype that Pokemon can generate, and with hype comes high expectations, and Game Freak is well aware of what fans want from this game. I do believe this game will release this year. It makes too much sense not to release it this year, even though I wouldn't mind waiting another year so that they can really polish the game up and make it the best it can be. But with that said, I still do believe Nintendo will release it this year as their big holiday title. Kimishima, president of Nintendo, stated that he wants to sell 20 million Switches in 2018, and the only way to properly ensure that happens is to release a Pokemon game for Switch. A couple more things that point to a 2018 release is Game Freak stating last year that they are really looking forward to hyping up Pokemon in 2018, as well as a new Nintendo of UK survey that lists a question on what 2018 titles are fans most likely to buy. And sure enough, the Pokemon RPG is listed there. This doesn't confirm the release year of Pokemon Switch, but it's something to point out. But there's a lot more to discuss other than just the release window. Since this is going to be the first mainline Pokemon title to come to a console, we can expect some major changes to take place. Excluding the rumors that have surfaced over the past 6 months, including Game Freak possibly introducing a real-time battle system and the game potentially running on Unreal Engine 4, I believe a lot of the development for this game will have an influence on Nintendo's big launch title last year, Zelda Breath of the Wild. I think not only Game Freak but other developers as well were inspired by Nintendo for breaking the conventions of a long-loved series like Zelda. Breath of the Wild took a huge risk, but it definitely paid off in the end, as it changed what open world means, and it also changed the way we play Zelda. But at the same time, it maintained enough to still feel like a Zelda game. And I think Game Freak will take the same risk with Pokemon Switch and change the way we play Pokemon. Pokemon is definitely in the need for some change. The series has been following the same formula for years and years, and I think some refining wouldn't hurt at this point. One of the changes we should expect to see is obviously a huge bump in resolution and pixel count. Game Freak can take full advantage of the Switch's hardware power and easily put out a 720p or even 1080p 60fps Pokemon game, depending on whether we are in docked or portable mode. One of the very few things that bother me about the recent Pokemon titles is how pixelated they are on the 3DS. I'm definitely ready for a full HD Pokemon game. We should also expect to see better animations with more detailed character models, as well as far superior textures when it comes to the world. As far as my personal expectations go from a visual standpoint, I don't expect it to blow me away, as it is still a Pokemon game, which have never been visually stunning or even about graphics. But I am looking forward to seeing a very clean looking Pokemon game, hopefully running on Unreal Engine 4. Moving on from the visuals of the game, let's talk about what really matters, the gameplay. What's going to change and what's not? This is a very crucial question because a game like Pokemon I feel is very sensitive when it comes to changing the way we play or how the battle system works. The huge rumor is Game Freak is going to refine the battle system and make it real time rather than turn-based. Now I'm all for change, but if they take away from any of the strategic elements and add any luck-based mechanics to the battle system, that's going to be a no-go for me and to a lot of the community. I think what we all love about the battle system is that it's pure strategy based, and having your own turn to think and decide what to do next is the best part in my opinion, and taking taking any of that away won't feel like Pokemon anymore. So I'm hoping this rumor is false, and my only advice to Game Freak is don't change something that isn't broken. Sure, add things to it, refine it a little bit, but don't completely remove the foundation. Other gameplay changes that have a potential of happening is the game possibly introducing a much larger region than we are used to seeing in previous Pokemon titles, and perhaps more freedom within the game. And by more freedom, I don't mean open world freedom, but rather more choices for the player to make based on his or her playstyle. For example, instead of having to go to a specific town and gym after obtaining your starter Pokemon, maybe this time around we can have multiple choices where we want to go. We could completely skip the first gym and move on to other towns. The linearity of the game should be demonstrated by the game's difficulty. The farther we travel, the more difficult wild Pokemon and route trainers become, forcing us not to progress any further until we become more experienced trainers with stronger Pokemon. And of course, there should be some blocked off areas requiring HMs and other completed tasks to gain access to, but I really think Pokemon Switch could benefit from having more freedom and player choice. Very few things should be required to be completed in order. And please, bring back the traditional gameplay with gyms and badges, no more island trials. Just no. But since this is going to be the first big change for the mainline series and the first core Pokemon title to come to a console, it wouldn't be fair for us to expect Game Freak to get everything right the first time. There's of course going to be things that we like that others may not care for, and vice versa. The community has been speaking loud for the past year, and I'm pretty sure Game Freak knows what we want from this game. But as the developer, they probably have some of their own ideas as well. Either way, I think the game will turn out to be a very solid Pokemon title, but it's probably a good idea to keep our expectations in check, since we have no idea when the development for this game began and how long Game Freak has had to work on it. For now, all we can do is wait as the anticipation for this game grows, since 2018 has finally started. The year we finally get a Pokemon game for a console. The year of Pokemon Switch. And on a final note, we shouldn't expect Game Freak to unveil the game anytime soon, before April or May. This game definitely won't show up in Nintendo's Direct in the first quarter of the year. Game Freak likes to hold their own exclusive Pokemon Directs for their big reveals or announcements, which usually happen around April or May. But due to the anticipation of this game, it wouldn't surprise me if they saved it for E3. But that's going to do it for this video. This is going to be an amazing year for all Pokemon fans, and I cannot wait to see what this game is all about. So if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down. And also let me know down in the comment section what you want to see in Pokemon Switch. Other than that, guys, I will catch you in the next video.